Alright guys, welcome to Cape Race League. This video I am actually getting this part of the Law series out a lot faster than I expected. Mostly because these series were all kind of the smaller series that really didn't have like a lot of seasons ran back in the BMRN era. So we're now in the BMRN era section of this Law series rundown on YouTube here for this channel. So in this part here, I'm gonna go over four different seasons. Two of them, or well, with three different series, two of them were from one series that did have a third season. However, it got canceled, and I'll go over all that here because this series all of these series were kind of ran in the later parts of the BMRN era, and they did kind of connect a little bit with like what happened during that time in the BMRN era. So we're gonna start off actually with the Skittles Short Track Pro Series. So this was actually a short track based racing series I did with my like normal like Hot Wheels Matchbox diecast cars I had after the Chance Xfinity series was over for its 3 seasons. So this series started in the BMR season 5. That year was all that season was all through 2019. This series went through season 5 and season 6 overall. There was a run in season 7. However, season got canceled after controversies into the first 4 races with other things. Of course, if you knew my channel back then, you would know all the controversy there. So the first season, based on the rosters I was able to get, I did it based on all the points from the season, like the points results, where I got all the drivers. And I know season 1, I kind of picked out the rosters. Season number 2, I did do signups for this series. I don't really have like good like ways to see who actually did sign up for the series back in 2020 because I don't really have any of the videos from back then that would have the results or anything on my Facebook. I actually did look at my Facebook for some of the ARCA results I'm going to talk about here, or kind of the roster in general, because I'm basically have like the half of the ARCA points gaining field. I don't know who was in those cars because it was not there for me to find. Anyway, so with the short track series here, so the first season was ran in 2019, and so Duncan Patel, who wasn't really a full-time driver at this time, he actually ran the X Series and then was kind of gone. He came back to run this series full-time because he wasn't full-time anywhere else. James Kinghar, he'll actually be he was actually a part of the Cup Series when we get to the North Series Fantasy League, then the Chance Cup Series parts later on. Nicholas Rice, he was actually new in the series. Marissa Tomeo, she's another interesting name. I'll definitely be going over in the Cup Series. William Brock, I believe he only ran this series and probably like one Gen 4 season. Of course, William Brock is currently in the Texas Riders Cup Series along with Bob Smith, who was in the 41 here. I think Bob Smith was originally supposed to be retired by the person who was using him, even though, I mean, he was actually running very well. I don't know why they decided to retire him back in season 4. So I decided to bring him back into the series with Brendan Creasy's team. Creasy owned the 11 and the 41 in this series. Hayden McAdams in number 46. He was another person I brought in, actually one of my old cross-country teammates. And actually, McAdams and Brock, they were both teammates in this season. Eric Monaco in the 51. So I did bring him back in this series. I think he ran 2 seasons here for his own team or something like that. And then I don't know if he was supposed to go Gen 4 Racing Season 7 or something like that. Scarlett Rose in number 60. She's another driver currently in the Texas Roadhouse Cup Series that did run the series. She ran in both seasons too, by the way. Joey Cook, another driver brought in like Will Smith along with Joey Smith. And Kyle Hoover. This guy actually ran in the original Gen 4 series that I don't have any results for. He also won a race there, but of course I know those results. Those results are not going to be counted in any of the BMR or in the overall win list, basically, or any of the BMR and base series seasons. So the season here, it was a 10 race season for the first season. This series started, I want to say, probably week 9 or 10 of the 2019 season 5 run. Gateway was the series opener, so this is where I kind of had Gateway debut on my channel as well. Nicholas Rice won this race. Him and Hayden McAdams were kind of the more dominant drivers. See, they did win most of the races here. William Brock got a win, got 2 wins at Carteret County and Evergreen. Duncan Patel pulled off one at Hickory. I did run at Hickory on this season, by the way. And yeah, Scarlett Rose won Nazareth. Really not a lot to say about first season. It was kind of dominated by a lot of the main drivers. Nicholas Rice won the championship by about 4 points over Hayden McAdams. William Brock was actually third in the points here. on technicality, there was a driver for a 62 car, by the way. However, they didn't really have a real name. Plus, there are some more controversies for why I did not include them in this list. That their Gen 4 win won't be included as well. It'll be given to someone else. That's really the only wins I'm kind of not keeping for drivers who originally won races. Yeah, Brock did gain one of his wins, by the way. Scarlett Rose and Patel both had wins. Kyle Hoover was fourth in the points, but didn't win a single race on the season. There's kind of everybody else there really not a lot to go over in the first season. It was kind of just like the season to have like Rice debut, McAdams debut, and other drivers. And another driver season two actually the first rookie in this field, Abigail Brock. So I decided to bring her to the league back in 2019, 2020 as one of the kind of newer drivers that are going to be probably pretty good and a pretty good prospect. Unfortunately, didn't really fizzle out that way. But yeah, Abigail Brock. So she's actually mainly in all of these series. These are the only series that she actually ever ran in full time. She might have gotten a Gen 4 win though. I will probably have to double check when I go through all the Gen 4 results for that. Yeah, she was a rookie here. Eric Monaco in the 3 car. Jess Gato, another new name who's brought in as a prospect this year. And Brendan Creason kind of decided to kind of like just go ahead and throw him all the way up to Cup and not let him really develop fully. Brett Campbell, I brought Brett. This is when I brought Brett back into the league, and I don't know why I put him up there and right in front of William Brock and Will Lane. Brock was back in the series. Will Lane was another rookie I brought in that I knew in real life. Ryan Kendall in number 60. He actually signed up for Brady Wilmington's race team. Scarlett Rose drove 62 cars, and Joey Cook and Kyle Hoover again in this field. So in this season, a lot of the rookies did end up winning because there were a lot of newer drivers, and of course, not really many of the drivers from the last season kind of stayed around. But it's kind of like which teams were really better here. Ryan Kendall had a really good run in that 60 car this season. Scarlett Rose, she was quietly there. Jess Gato was a quiet rookie. Abigail Brock, she did very good. However, it was kind of like an Austin Hill 2020 style season that she had, where she was either hot or cold, and she did not make the version of the Final Four in the series, but she did win the finale. Brett Campbell also got a big one at McKenzie Stadium in the season. But yeah, Kendall did win the championship and the Rookie of the Year battle at the end of it all. Ryan Kendall was honestly the best driver overall in this season, and there was supposed to be a season 3 of this series. However, like I said, 4 races into it kind of got canceled when I was working on Myrtle Beach. I think Abby won the first race, and I think probably Brett Campbell was still in the series. He had to win, and someone else probably won. Or it might have been canceled in the 3rd race. I don't remember fully, but yeah, Ryan Kendall, Brett Campbell, Scar Rose, Jess Gato were part of a Final Four in the series here, where I did the Final Four. Basically, is the top 4 in the points going to the finale. Yeah, the Abby, she was really good, but got 5th in the points, and I only really had these 10 drivers that was able to score for all this because that's all who I really knew about and the points from the season. So in the all-time wins for this series here, yeah, Rice, McAdams, Kendall, both the Brocks, all of them won 3 races apiece. Of course, there was no one with more than 3 wins because most drivers that won a good bit, they went on to run in the next series. Also, I'll say kind of season 3, I think Ryan Kendall was still there too. He probably could have won some more races and been the winningest driver. Maybe Brett Campbell too in that season that never got to run through all the way. But yeah, so that kind of is it here for the short track series. So like I said, this will be a video going over 3 different series here. So next you got when I brought the truck series back. So this was back in 2020, kind of when COVID started. I was making plans for this, but yeah, the Shane's Truck Series. I might have decided it was right when COVID actually happened for this series because the season opener was at Dixieland Raceway, probably after the Pocono Road Course race in the Cup Series. It was after the Forsyth weekend, I know that. So this is kind of my return to the truck series. This was actually a series on YouTube where I did the trucks like the old school way, where I had like certain like the random like Hot Wheels, Matchbox trucks, and some of the real trucks. And I was actually getting something throughout the season. And so I'll say like the number 1 was actually that JJ Yellow truck. JJ Yellow won the championship in real life back in 2017. I've discovered recently. Dakota Bennett, this 20 truck. I actually found this cool like Hot Wheels truck it was at like a weird like hobbies craft store. I thought it was like a bunch of Hot Wheels there, and I thought it was cool, so I used it in a season. But I remember this truck mostly for a crash Dakota Bennett had at Forsyth Super Speedway, where the truck did a literal cartwheel next to the fence. It was a pretty cool looking wreck, honestly. There might be a photo of it somewhere in my archive of photos from my old phones and in my photo of flash drive, but. Yeah, it was definitely a very, very crazy wreck that happened to Dakota Bennett there. It was pretty cool to see. Caleb Campbell, he did drive a real 24 truck. Elizabeth Tell, she actually got added in when I got this 27 truck. I know it was the Mike Snyder 27. Jake Hoover, he was on 51 originally. He was actually in the 28. Then Abby got a 28 when Jake went to the 51. That's when I got Kyle Busch's 51. And then the 88 truck, that's the last truck I actually got during this season. That was included late in the season. So, yes, I'm just going to mention it now because a few drivers, they're going to be low in the points because their trucks were brought in like late throughout the season. Ray Adams, I did do a real sign up in this series. LG Toledo brought in a lot of those random like back marker drivers from back in the day, or from base 2020 that he liked and was able to get attention from back on Twitter and stuff. And yeah, he will be included all these series, and his only 2 wins will be included, along with Shane Winslow, by the way. Ray Adams, he was actually another driver signed up for Jake Hoover's team at this time, which also had the 28 truck. Those were the two same trucks, and I gave that one the number 79. There was also a 69 truck for James Edwards, but the truck did not finish out the season, so I did not include a 69 truck in this list here for the season. So in the truck series, I actually had Sarah Cox in the 46. We'll talk about her more kind of in the Shane's Xfinity series part because that's where she really kind of rose up there in that series. Yeah, she won a season opener in a great battle at Dixieland against her and Caleb, and I think probably Brady Wilmington. Yeah, Creason won. Creason and Johnson, they both won a doubleheader at Augusta, where I did both versions of Augusta for the same series. Little Rock Raceway, Caleb Campbell won there, and yeah, really did all the other tracks here in the truck series. This was honestly a really fun season with a few controversies throughout the season, like LG Toledo getting wrecked by Elizabeth Buttel at Kansas after an issue I'll talk about when I get to season 6 in the Cup Series. That happened at Forsyth and Chase. It happened around the same time. It's a very hilarious story. And I would say the only other kind of controversy was this Utah race where Grant Hoover and Brady Wilmington got into it, and they had a little bit of rivalry from this. And the original Brady Wilmington did not like being in rivalries, having people mad at him. Yeah, he was definitely very soft about having people be mad at him. And yeah, and in turn to all this, he actually made me remove James Edwards from the roster in the 69 truck, which Edwards would have had a really good season, but of course he got removed from the roster before he could have had a good season to end off the season. But yeah, so then in the points here for the first truck series season, Jake Hoover beat out Caleb Campbell here for the championship. They were in the battle of Philadelphia. Sarah Cox, she had that one win, was third in points, and Grant Hoover fourth. Those 2 trucks were actually for Caleb Campbell Motorsports too, actually. I forgot to mention that. Brady Wilmington got fifth. Abigail Brock, she started a little later, but she came up in the points. Kay Summers, she was very quiet all this season. The Crazy Rice and Buttel got 10th, like that, with some drivers starting out late. Elizabeth started out late, and Duncan Buttel started out late, Dakota Bennett started out late, and of course they were all very low in the points, to where they could have probably finished truly in the standings here in this season. Yeah, so it does with the truck series. Now the last series here, which is the series I did in 2021 when I decided to bring back a third series after the short track series shut down, the Rowdy Energy ARCA series. So this was kind of like my style of an ARCA division with the older Gen 6 cars. Kind of like what the Exalted Cup Series Season 2 was for the most recent season I did there in the CRL. So this roster was kind of a I did have signed up for a series, like I said, but I don't remember anybody who was added in, except for like Dakota Bennett. I knew Carl C was in the 55 car here. Brett Campbell was full-time in the 46. Abigail Brock. Jay Turner making his league debut in this season. And then Will Lane as well. Then I had the 935 and the 48 as part-time cars from this season. So in the ARCA series, we only really ran these first 7 races, and I kind of sent through the last 3 races like they would have happened here. Homestead, Jake Hoover got a big win there against Caleb Campbell there. Glenville, so the original winner, Glenville, Baltimore, I did not include due to them not really running the full season and me kind of not having them anymore in the series here for all the history stuff. So yeah, Glenville, I'm giving to Dakota Bennett. So Dakota Bennett actually becomes a CRL race winner in this stuff here, funny enough, with all that. Kansas went to Brett Campbell, South Boston, Abigail Brock. And she had a pretty good season here as well, by the way. Little Rock went to Caleb Campbell. That was actually Caleb's 4-0 birthday win back in 2021. And, of course, he won 2022, 2023 now as well, and of course, birthday wins. Then Jace Turner got a big win in Baltimore in the rain, too, by the way. Yeah, big one there for Jace Turner. Yeah, Caleb won Bristol. This was on technicality Caleb's 100th career win overall. But I'm going to say it spoiled this. Caleb is going to have more than 100 wins, and I haven't even counted the Shane's Xfinity Series, Bass Pro Gen 4 Series, the Cup Series seasons from the BMRN era, and I have not yet counted the CRL races just yet here. They will be counted after all this is done. So yeah, Caleb would definitely have been more over 100 wins at this point. But yeah, so the 48 owners team did kind of win the owners title here. Brett Campbell was officially the champion. I mean, he definitely would have won out for Abigail Rock at the end of the season. Jace Turner with getting 2 wins late in the season. Definitely would have been big third in points there. Definitely very cool. Would have been very cool to see Jace win like that since he was being a newer driver at the time. Dakota Bennett, not bad for him either. And of course, he's no longer a part of the league as well. Jake Hoover with his big win, then Will Lane Crossy, and then the 19 with the 100 points there. And that really does it for these 3 seasons. So, or for these 4 seasons with the 3 BMR series. I messed up that typo last night. But yeah, so that really does here with the series here. So just a lot of these smaller series that happened at the end of the BMR era, really. Because, of course, this season happened right at the end of the BMR era. Of course, like I said, the last race I had to send through. I mean, I could have ran them along with the conclusion stuff, but I didn't really. So here for this part. Next part, I'm going to do the Shane's Xfinity Series seasons because those will be just 3 seasons there. And then Gen 4, I'll do their 4 seasons, and the Cup Series with their 7 full seasons. I will get at the end of all this. So once again, I'll do your first video. Thank you guys for watching if you did and you enjoyed it. And you can leave a like on the video if you want to as well. And this will be Caleb Campbell with the Campbell Race League signing out. And I will see y'all next time.